What's up, everybody? Brother Matt, how are you?
Hey there, brother Greg. I'm doing well. It's so glad to be back. I can't believe we're finally back.
I know it's been too long. Let's make sure that everybody can hear Matt. All right, we are good to go. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, we are so happy. We saw all of our friends in the chat. Everybody is back. If you're new, make sure you introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us your name, where you're from, your social security number. No, just kidding. Tell us your favorite Beach Boys album, your and maybe your favorite song. Tell us, how about your favorite album? I like that. Matt, what do you think about that? That's good for
Yeah,
our new
that's a good
folks.
one. And that was actually our question for last week. And we had a lot
It
of really
was.
interesting answers, I thought, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
Matt, I'm
cool.
like nervous. This is it's weird. I feel like the show is getting better and bigger, and it's so much fun. It's such an honor to be here. It's a blessing to be here with all of our Beach Boy fans. This is a show dedicated to our favorite band, the Beach Boys, and it's all about getting our friends together, all of the fans out there on Tuesday nights to have some fun and just to talk with each other. Right, Matt? It's a good time.
Yeah, no doubt. It's one of the things I look forward to most in the week is coming on here and talking about our favorite band. And
Yeah.
in the past season that we've done this and we're starting a new one, but in the past one, I learned so much from our experts that join us in the chat and from some of our
Oh,
guests. It's been really, really great,
guests have been amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, we always say this, but it's 100% true. We are not experts or historians. We are going to say things that are probably incorrect, and we're just not. We're just normal fans that we just happen to have kind of some technology together to bring folks together. So there are a lot of smarter people out there than we are for sure.
Mhm.
Matt, what do we get on for today, man?
Man, we have an exciting season 2 opener. We're going to bring back a few things like all requests towards the end of the show. We're going to do a giveaway today, which we talked about. We're going to give away one of these.
Yeah.
Original, not this exact one, but one of
No,
these.
but an original in beautiful, pristine
Yeah,
condition.
no, I don't think it has
Awesome.
a name on it. The one we're going to give away, and we're
Yeah.
also with that, we're going to give away this pretty cool collector's item. Surf
Yeah.
and Safari little car there. I know it's not the car in the album, but it's in that style, So
Yeah, so cool.
stick around. We're going to do that after our interview. And by the way, we have a great interview tonight. I'm really excited to be able to speak with Rob Bonfiglio, Brian Wilson band member. He's a
So cool.
songwriter, singer in his own right,
Yeah.
musical director for Wilson Phillips. Just really excited that he's going to be on tonight. And we are going to do the Many Moods of Matt.
Woohoo! My
For
favorite.
those of you that, and we're going to try a new segment tonight called
That's right.
Celebrate the News. So stick around
Celebrate
for
the
that,
news.
too.
That's right. We're gonna do a lot of fun. Yeah, and of course, one of the most fun things we do is Matt and I will take requests from the chat. We'll play and sing, and it'll be really fun. So any song you want to hear at the end of the show, we'll play it. It'll be a lot of fun. So it's kind of like we turn into a piano bar at the end of the night, and you guys can
Yeah, that's
drink
right.
and request songs. Only Beach Boys though. We're only doing Beach Boys stuff. So big thank you to all the Facebook folks out there that let us post our stuff. We're probably really annoying. All the folks on Instagram. We have an awesome following on Instagram. It's so cool. What a great community with so many great pictures and Instagram and YouTube. All you folks out there on YouTube and Twitch, thank you. We have a ton of people on right now. It's awesome. Really, really exciting. But big thank you to all those folks. Matt, a very special thank you. We got to show this off a little bit. Matt and I, over Christmas, we got a surprise in the mail from Al Jardine, kind of telling us to keep rocking and some words of encouragement for the show. So huge shout out to Al Jardine. What a crazy, it's kind of unbelievable, right? To talk about. You're like, oh yeah, by the
Yeah,
way,
I
we
have
got something in
mine.
the mail.
Bring mine up there.
Yeah.
And it was really a thrill, and it's nice to know that he supports the show.
Yep.
Pretty
And-
awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
speechless, of course.
His whole team over there, Spud is awesome. Spud and Drifting Sand, awesome. The
Yep.
band and all that stuff going on. So a really, really great group. So thanks for that. Matt, I think we talked about this, but we were going to maybe, for all the, of course, everybody knows the passing of the late, great Billy Hinchey. Such a sad deal to have him leave us. But, we thought that it would be cool to every show kind of start the show off the way he does, with singing his song. So I thought we could kind of do that. Matt, you want to?
Yep.
We'll sing a little bit of his song, and we'll do it every show as kind of our small tribute to Billy and everything he's done. A big part of the show, it was Billy. Billy started doing the live stream, and it kind of gave us a lot of encouragement and, definitely stole a lot of stuff from him in terms of ideas. And like I said, the big thing is the encouragement. Seeing him do it was like, okay, we can do this, So
yeah, I enjoyed his
peace,
show
Billy.
a lot on Saturdays. So it's still sad that he's gone. Rest in peace, Billy, but it's for you.
Hey, hello, my friends. It's good to see you again. It's been a few years since I went away. Now I'm happy to say I'm doing okay myself. I can dig what's happening, and every day there is something new. And hey, good things are coming my way. Tell me how you've been. There's so much you gotta tell me. Let's talk about them good old days. We laugh and say, hey, hey, man, you're okay. Let's take it nice and easy now. It's back in the groove. Lots of things are happening, and hey, good things are coming my way. And good things coming my way. Yeah. For Billy.
Very nice, very nice. Rest in peace, Billy.
Man, Billy was awesome. What a great show. What a great song. What a great singer. Everything about Billy was awesome. We miss you, Billy.
And a Beach Boy, man. He
And
was.
absolute Beach Boy. No doubt about that. Okay, everybody, if you could do us a favor, as always, if you could share the stream, share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, whatever. It's always really helpful. We're trying to grow, get as many people. Like I always say, I believe that there's somebody out there that's a huge Beach Boy fan that doesn't know any other Beach Boy fans and wishes they had a place like this where we can all hang out and nerd out a little bit on our favorite band. Matt, should we start our very first Many Moods of Matt for the year? Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Let's go. The Many Moods of Matt. Yes.
Well, there's another death that happened recently, not quite Beach Boy related, but kind of 6 degrees. And that was Bob Saget from Full House. So may he rest in peace, and prayers to his family and for him. But what that got me thinking was, on some of the Facebook sites, I saw the Beach Boys clips from Full House, and it brought me back to when I was a kid. And then it got me thinking about the song Kokomo. The song Kokomo, I believe, does not get enough credit in the Beach Boys circle.
Oh, boy.
So I want to give Mike Love a little credit here for the song Kokomo. I believe that Kokomo is just as important as Endless Summer in bringing the Beach Boys back into relevance and popularity. Wow, I know that for my own life as a kid, it started with Kokomo pretty much. I had heard them on the radio before, on 60s radio, but it started with Kokomo and it turned into a lifelong love affair with the Beach Boys. And so I guess what I want to say tonight is, I know Brian wasn't involved in that song, but Carl's got a sweet vocal. The harmony is solid. Mike Love's got that bass, and Mike Love was a co-writer on that song. So I want to say, I guess I just wonder, Greg, your thoughts on this, and everybody in the chat. Do we kind of look at that Beach Boys era and Kokomo as cringy? And maybe do we need to reevaluate it? Because I really think that was a turning point in their career when they had a #1 hit after 22 years of not really having much of anything going on, right? So a little shout out to Mike Love tonight in my first Many Moods. Thank you.
Wow.
And go to Kokomo.
Many moods of the Florida Keys.
Yeah, man. And you know what I read, Greg? I read that a lot of that song was already written by John Phillips, but Mike Love added the chorus, of course, the hook. Aruba, Jamaica. That part wasn't there. And that's really the part that makes the song for me,
Kind of reminds you of the whole Good Vibrations thing where he's like, he adds the I'm picking up good.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got these things that he just sticks in there.
Even if you take, even if you say like, we know Kokomo's not, wouldn't it be nice or something? It's a catchy song. It's more of a throwback to the early 60s, but I'm not even talking about the impact of it musically, but just as their career. So Mike Love was good at that, right? Even he named Endless Summer in the 70s. Yeah. Right. And then he said, let's get Kokomo. He even added cocktails to the lyrics because, it was in the movie Cocktail. So he had that kind of knack in him to be clever and to make something more commercial. I read a really neat quote today about how Mike Love was able to take Brian Wilson's like esoteric ideas, and kind of give them to the everyman. And I think Kokomo's just like that. It wasn't Brian Wilson's idea, but you know what I mean? So I think we need to give Mike a little bit of credit for that. And he still tours to this day, but he keeps the Beach Boys name alive. But that was a critical point. Beach Boys 85 did not sell well. It wasn't that critically acclaimed. I know there's some beautiful songs on the album. Yeah. Us as deep loving Beach Boys fans, we kind of like a lot of songs that if you just played on the radio, people might be like, what is this? But and so I think, and then Brian Wilson came out with his solo album and it kind of stalled. And then all of a sudden you had Kokomo and it brought the Beach Boys right back into everything. So it was just on my mind after watching some of those clips the other night. So I was just interested in your thoughts on it in the chat. And then I'll remove this hat in a little while.
No, man, the hat is perfect. I don't know that. I mean, that is the quintessential Mike Love hat. It is. Awesome.
This is the one I remember him like all the time.
It is the best. And you need to keep
like
that
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Mike Love.
It's beautiful. Yeah. I'll say something real quick, but then we care more about what the chat thinks. So chat, in just a few seconds, we want to hear what you think about Matt's Many Moods. It's all about the chat. We don't really care what we say, except obviously Matt and the Many Moods. But Matt, I love you use the word reevaluate. And I think it's so good. But I do think that I'm going to take it a step further and saying it. Oh, like somebody mentioned reintroduced fans to the Beach Boys.
Yes,
it was the first number one hit after a while. I say yes, and I actually think it's a great song. I think musically it's really well written. It's actually a perfect pop song. And towards the 80s they kind of started to master this thing where Mike Love sings this one part and then Carl comes in and sings, half the chorus, and then Al has his own part. Somewhere Near Japan is similar to that. Make it big. Like why isn't that? I know you mentioned it. It's not. Wouldn't it be nice? But I mean, why not? I mean, I get that. I think if you take two things, if you take them out of context, out of the 60s and what Pet Sounds was, and I think you take it out of the 80s, like the nostalgia thing, and you put two songs side by side, Kokomo kills, man. I think it's an awesome song.
Yeah, when you hear the flow of it on, for instance, the Sounds of Summer compilation, it's perfect. It doesn't stick out as being something terrible. It's got that, that authentic Beach Boys sound and that cool vibe.
Yeah.
But again, I wonder for some of our friends on here that have been fans for a long time, though, what did they think of Kokomo? Did it do anything? Because the other thing I was thinking was like, what a time to be a fan. We're 60 years in. Yeah. We have the gift and the ability to listen to vocal only tracks, to instrumental tracks, to all the live performances you can get your hands on. And I was thinking about how if you were a fan back in the day in the 60s, like you heard an album, you listened to that until the next one came out, but you didn't get anything, any extra stuff, bonus stuff, but we have access to everything, And I think in the 80s, it was similar where you didn't have access to all that. So I have to imagine that when Kokomo came out, for you diehard Beach Boy fans, you probably had to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, rock on. What I mean?
Can you imagine?
So I'm just curious about that,
Exactly. Let's go to the chat. So chat, what do you think about Kokomo? Do you think it's underrated, overrated? Do we need to reevaluate the 80s Beach Boys, late 80s Beach Boys, early 90s Beach Boys? Do we need to look at these albums again and maybe take off kind of any prejudices you might have had about the music beforehand, and maybe we look at it differently. Let's go to the chat. Chat, what do you think? John F. Butler. Hey, John. He says, the song that makes you smile and happy. Absolutely. Owen, Lahaina Aloha gives me those Kokomo vibes. Man, I butchered that. Night Owl, Darren.
That's on Summer in Paradise.
Right.
That's
Kokomo Rocks from Night Owl. Claire, proper 80s song too. Absolutely. Hey, Claire. Tony Soprano, great tune, great vocals, especially Al. Oh man, chat's moving kind of fast. Becky loves Jesse. Hey, Becky loves Jesse. Kokomo is awesome. Joyce Garrison says, great. Joe Winters, Kokomo, classic sun and fun song. Yeah, Bridget LaGreca, one of my favorite songs. Absolutely. Hey, Bridget, hope you're doing well. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joyce. Scott James says everyone's into Somewhere Near Japan in recent years. Oh man, I missed that.
You love that song, man. You always talk about that one.
I think that song is so great. Carl's vocals specifically on these late 80s tunes make it big. I don't know, man. It's so good. Carl's voice is
still cruising. He does his thing in there.
Still cruising. Yeah. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it. It's like, oh, when you hear Carl, anytime I hear that in the store, I always have to stop at that part and be like, yes, he's my guy. Todd Peters says,
Mike. Fan for. Oh, go ahead.
Mike Love has an awesome voice on it. Mike Love, his vocal absolutely is great. Steve Sanderson says Kokomo. Oh, the Kokomoods of Matt. Dude, I think we need to change the name.
Mike did have a really cool kind of mellow voice in the 80s. It didn't have as much of that nasal like when he was young in the 60s. His 80s voice kind of mellowed out. He had more of that bass, that full tone. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Candy Cane says great song. Absolutely. Rick Frank. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Great tune. Brought so many new fans to the Beach Boys. Absolutely. Andrea Marie. Hey, man, I can't remember if it's Andrea or Andrea. Dang it, Andrea, I'm messing this up. It's a fun song. Glad it put the Beach Boys back on the charts in the 80s. Love it. See the Wave. What's up, See the Wave? I still believe Capitol should release a Summer in Paradise Still Cruising twofer. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, Still Cruising's tough to find out there in terms of streaming. Mark Schuster. Mark Schuster's in the house. Mark, we are honored to have Mark. Mark's a huge friend of the show. Problem Child has some great vocals too. Oh, Problem Child. That's another
with Carl,
one.
Yeah.
That's another one. Skipper
mentioned Skipper mentioned Rock and Roll to the Rescue. That's got great Carl vocals. Gotta go. Yeah. Dude, and I like that song a lot, actually. That came out in 86 or something. Yeah.
Skipper, glad you're back. I'm glad Skipper's back. Patty Hunsberger, love Kokomo. Was a real big comeback for the Beach Boys. They got a lot of new young fans. Harley, hey Harley, how are you? Kokomo sends me to the summer place. I love it.
Sean said, on the contrary, I do think it hurt their credibility artistically. For every fan it attracted, another potential fan was turned off. Interesting.
See, and are we saying that because? Okay, wait. Can you read that? Who said that again?
It's Skip. I can't see it anymore.
Darn it. Where was that?
He said that it was not good artistically. So for every fan that a new fan had brought in, it turned off, diehard fans, but that's what I've always heard. But the more, when I reevaluate it, I'm like, it's a really nice song. I don't think it's too cringy or cheesy. I mean, the video is a little cringy, I suppose, but
Yeah. And that's definitely something. Is it like the culture, or not the culture, but like the visual around Kokomo? Is that what maybe kind of brings it down a little bit? I mean, yeah, like 80s had some great music, and Kokomo. I mean, Kokomo was that 89 or?
Well, what did it take out? It took out was it One More Night? Is that the name of the song? Phil Collins. It took that song out of the #1 spot. Kokomo did.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think if you take it out of the context of like I think when a lot of people think of Kokomo, they think of that really weird video of like all the Beach Boys being carried off on surfboards by girls in bikinis, like really awkward, But in reality, take the song out of there, and I think it's a banger. Like Allison says. Allison says, mega banger, and it makes me mad that people don't like it solely because of Mike. I don't know that it has anything to do with Mike, Allison. I would maybe disagree and say I think it's more about like. I think it was really gimmicky at the time. I mean, it was a movie song, right? That like old, that's like super.
Cocktail, yeah.
It's like Aerosmith and Armageddon. What was that song? I don't want to close my eyes.
I don't want to miss a thing. Yeah.
I don't want to fall. Right, awesome song, but a little cheesy because it was with the movie. I wonder if that has something to do with it.
I don't know. I never get the hate for it because, like I said, every time it comes on, it's even in those videos I was watching where they cut to. There's a scene in the house at Full House, and they're like, "All right, let's go to the show or whatever," and they get in a huddle and they start singing Kokomo, the chorus of it with acoustic guitars, and it sounds awesome. Carl sings his part,
Yeah.
and it's like, that is a tight band, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Abby Lowry says, my mom was one of the girls in the music videos wearing a bikini. And then she said, just kidding, which is pretty hilarious.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Stephen Wells says, listen to Surf's Up, then Kokomo, you decide. Well, yeah, I think it's tough. I think
It's not fair though. Couldn't you say, listen to Fun and Surf's Up? I mean, Surf's Up is so different than all their other songs,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Chad. Hey, Ron. Hey, Wallene. Hey, John. Hey, Vince. Vince says, I have the mindset of, if it has the Beach Boys, then I like it. It doesn't matter to me. I like it at all. Yeah, I'm starting to I think the older I get and the more music I listen to, Vince, I think I'm kind of on that. I think you have to take yourself out of like the videos and the pictures around it and just evaluate it as a song that gives you feelings and makes you feel good and all this kind of stuff. And Kokomo rocks, man. I love it.
I think another fair thing to say to add to that comment is that I think we as Beach Boys fans do like a lot of songs that maybe the general public would not like or don't understand because we know the history but Kokomo transcends all that. That was a hit again after they were out of relevance for a long time. That's why I think it's really an essential song to the Beach Boys in their career,
Yeah. Man, really great chat. Awesome stuff. Chat is firing on all cylinders.
They are. They were ready. They've been waiting.
Episode 1. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, we only care about what you have to say. So keep throwing things in the chat. Michael B. Coates says Kokomo is not my favorite, but there's no denying it's a good song. Yeah, I think that's cool. Wallene, thanks for liking the stream. Appreciate it. Matt, we're gonna start. Let's move over to our new segment. How about we do that? Called Celebrate the News. Are you guys ready for our new segment here? Let's do it. All right, Matt, take it away. Correspondent Matt out in the Beach Boy field.
Hello, this is Beach Boys Talk Matt with a special report. We're going to celebrate the news. Here we go. Again, says The Weeknd.
Nice.
This is a song from his new album called Dawn PM. Believe it or not, a co-writing credit goes to Bruce Johnston. That's right, of our very favorite band, the Beach Boys.
How is that possible?
In an interview, Bruce says he met with a guy named Rex and Sonny Moore, or Skill Rex, and during the pandemic, Bruce would go to a studio near a beach where he liked to surf and put down music. He's still writing music. And he and Christian Love one time went to Rex's house to put down some vocals, and sure enough, these guys gave it to The Weeknd, and The Weeknd really liked what he heard. And then Bruce found out later that it was on this new album. The song is called Here We Go Again, and Bruce has a production credit on it because my understanding is all the major part of it, the melody, all the stuff already was Bruce's song.
Matt, my favorite part of the lyrics that Bruce wrote. Bruce wrote the lyrics too.
And then The Weeknd just added to it. So if you want to hear that song, it's on the album called Dawn PM. I'm sure you can just buy that track or hear it on YouTube. Interestingly, Bruce did not hear it until the final product was released. So He never even met The Weeknd. And that's how they make music now, apparently, where he just, lays it down. In other news, Long Promise Road. I hope everybody that's on our stream has seen that beautiful documentary about Brian Wilson driving around to his favorite spots with Jason Fine. But more interesting is the song that he wrote with Jim James from My Morning Jacket, Right Where I Belong, which I believe we've posted on our page before, is being nominated for an Academy Award for best song, in a movie, whatever you call it. So let's hope that Brian wins. That would be really cool if he could win an Academy Award for an original song to a movie. And
can we?
That's it today. That's how we're just going to continue celebrating the news.
Yeah, Matt,
that was my send out. Sorry.
That was good. Well, we should talk about each one. Let's talk.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's roll the tape back a little bit. Correspondent Matt. So Bruce Johnson somehow finds his way. It's kind of like, I don't know. That guy just finds his way into. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if, like, I found out tomorrow that, like, Bruce is now in U2 somehow. You know what I mean? Like, he's
Yeah,
like,
and
it's like, how does he just like works his way into these situations?
Well, he said something in the interview, and I feel old and dated now, but he said like Skillrex is like a DJ or something. I don't know.
Isn't
And
it?
he said he was
It's Skrill. I think it's Skrillex.
Skrillex.
You're getting roasted.
He says
you're getting roasted pretty hardcore in the chat right now for pronouncing that.
Skrillex. He says he was hanging out with him and
like an old man.
And he just he said during the pandemic there were no shows, so there was this place called Shangri-La Studios, and he would go record music. And then he said that he took a microphone that Mick Jagger would have used to play on the harmonica. There's a specific name for it. When he was at this guy's house, and he and Christian Love started singing vocals, and that's what became the basis for the song on the Weekend album. Go figure, huh?
What's really funny is I think if you know Bruce's stuff, like if you listen to like Going Public or like any of his Beach Boys work, when you listen to the song, you can you totally know what Bruce did. You know,
yeah.
like it's like the kind of the cheesy. Like chord changes. It's like,
let me tell you, man,
when
you turn that song on for the first minute, it does.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going to hear Ocean Lover. I mean, it sounds like that's what's coming. You know what I mean?
To harmonize.
It's exactly like that, except he's not singing the lead, but the music, the orchestration's like that and everything. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, how? But I mean, I like The Weeknd. I don't love the song, to be honest.
Yeah.
But hey, man, props to Bruce for getting in there and being completely irrelevant. I mean, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
He's good on him.
Almost 80 years old and singing on an album probably that's going to get nominated for a lot of Grammys and probably win. And that's pretty neat, you know?
Yeah. So. It's weird. Is like, and I'm not making fun of Bruce here, but there must be something we're missing in terms of like Bruce's coolness, because like when you listen to Disney Girls and like you see him on stage, you're like, man, that guy kind of like as square as it gets, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's like hanging out with The Weeknd, like playing tracks on The Weeknd. So that dude must just turn it off when he gets off stage and is like the coolest dude in the entire world. Or we're just missing. I don't know.
One of the things I do hope that comes from it, though, no matter what, is just kind of like Kokomo in a way, is that if people like that song and they know Bruce, and Christian Love, by the way, sings vocals on there, and he sounds exactly like a Beach Boy.
Super cool. Yeah.
That it'll bring some fans of The Weeknd that maybe don't know the Beach Boys to maybe get into their stuff. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know? So
cool
that's
stuff.
What I hope.
Some funny comments. I want to go back, and Abby had a really funny one. Shoot. I want to, man, my setup isn't quite perfect yet. Somebody had some funny, anyway, we're kicking off the dust here, everybody.
I saw a lot of Skrillex that I messed up. Sorry,
yeah.
I have no
Skipper
idea.
Skipper says,
who that
"What do you
is.
mean? Bruce is the epitome of cool." I know. Like I said, I'm missing it. Skipper, I don't know. Scott James says Al Jardine is as on a semi-recent John Mayer track. That's right. In fact, Matt Jardine was talking about that when he was on the show, and Brian's on Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, Monet. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So they're all pretty relevant. I will say though that like, I think Al Jardine and like Matt and those guys hanging out with John Mayer. Okay, I get that. For some reason I get that, but like Bruce and The Weeknd is like so mind blowing to me. So different. Don Putnam. Hey Don, Bruce is awesome. Last concert I went to, he jumped up and did a split like jump in the air. He was vibing. Yeah, I mean, he still got it.
Yeah, he does that. He did that at the 50th too. Yeah. I will say one thing he said, to get back to the chat. Bruce did say at the end of that interview, if you want to read it, it's LA Times. He said, "I still want to write music. I have a lot of magic left in me." That's what he said. So
I love that. I think that's
I
super
do
cool.
too. That's cool.
By the way, welcome all the new folks. We're reading a lot of new folks in the chat. So Letterrain, I think Bruce was close with Terry Melcher, who got around. Yeah, they were, like I said, they were behind the scenes, super cool. Catherine
Terry,
Richards. Yeah. Mike's got Brian Eichenberger, now ex of 4 Freshmen. Oh, Mike's got Brian Eichenberger now. See, this is where, once again, we are not experts or historians.
Brian Eichenberger is in Mike's band. He used to sing in the reconfiguration of the 4 Freshmen. He sang in Brian's band for a while.
I didn't know that. Thanks, Catherine.
He sings their high stuff. Yeah.
See, this is why you are way smarter than we are, and we just have you on the show to tell us all this awesome stuff. Joyce says Bruce is fantastic. Hi, Joyce. Hope you're doing well. Abby says I still have a lot of magic in me. Is that what Bruce? Is that what Bruce said?
He said something like that. Yeah. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. Allison says he does a falsetto, and yeah, he was in the four freshmen for like 18 years or something. I did not know
Yeah.
that. That's really cool. John Butler says, Kokomo, make cold winter temps warmer. Absolutely. Put it on right now to warm you up. Chad Wilson. Hey, Chad, how are you? Chad, are you new? And Terry Melcher used to live at the house where the Tate murders happened. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's right. I think I knew that at some point. I just had forgotten about it. Matt, moving over to the next topic you mentioned was Long Promise Road. How many of you saw it? We'd love to get your thoughts on it because, Matt, should we spill the news that we have one of the...
Go ahead. Tell the awesome news we have.
In a few weeks here, we have Brent Wilson, one of the producers and directors of Long Promise Road, coming on the show, and he's going to talk about it. I am so excited to have him on. Super awesome guy, so talented. And so if you love the documentary, you got to tune into this show. It'll be in a few Tuesdays here, but we're going to have Brent on the show. He's going to talk through it. So excited about that. But we would love your thoughts. Chat, what were your thoughts on Long Promise Road? Any favorite moments? So cool. Matt, I got goosebumps a couple different times.
Man, I've watched that movie twice now, and I need to watch it again because the second time I watched it, I missed some stuff from the first time. You know what I mean? It was one of those things, those subtle things. One of the scenes that sticks out to me, though, is when they drive to Carl's house, and Jason Fine wants to get out of the car, and Brian says, I don't want to go in. And he starts crying, and then he asks Jason to put on It's Okay. That's like his comfort song, you know?
Yeah.
You don't see that side of Brian Wilson because a lot of the time he's very panned, he can be happy in concert, but to see him emotional like that was pretty rough,
Yeah, pretty rough for sure. Like when they're at the diner or the restaurant there, and Brian just kind of very candidly says, I'm scared, or I'm I'm scared right now, or I'm nervous, and I forget his name, but and
then he hears Jack Riley had died.
Oh that really, you could tell that really kind of disturbed him a little bit for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, very moving movie. But on top of that was his original song called Right Where I Belong. And so maybe we'll get some stuff from the chat and we could talk about the song. So
for sure. Joyce says need to watch it. Joyce, you haven't seen it yet? Come on. Vince, I haven't seen it. Vince, come on, man. You got to watch it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you all wait and watch it right before Brent Wilson comes on. So you'll be able to be right fresh in your mind.
That's perfect. Yeah. Wait to watch it until the show where we have Brent on. Sandy says when Brian almost cried over Carl. Yeah, that's tough. Joseph Paul. Hey, Joseph, loved Long Promise Road. Definitely one of the best docs I've seen for sure. Le Terrain, it was good, but it made me sad. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Todd Peters, Long Promise Road is awesome. Rand Richard, this is an amazing mashup of Janelle Monáe's Tightrope. We're talking about Nancy Sinatra, These Boots, freaking amazing. Yeah, I haven't heard that yet. Matt, have you heard that?
Yeah, I have heard that song, but I couldn't hear a lot of Brian in it, to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah. Stephen Wells, Long Promise Road DVD coming. I don't know. We'll have to. Maybe we can ask Brent that when he's on. Nolan Carr. Hey, Nolan. Almost teared up when they talked about Jack Riley and played Dennis's album Pacific Ocean Blue for the first time. Yeah, that was really interesting. Karen Cruz. Hey, Karen. Long time no see. Ordered Long Promise Road. We'll get it next week. Can't wait to see it. Chad Wilson says, I love the humor of Brian when he saw Vanna White. Oh, yeah. I'm Brian Wilson.
Oh, yeah. He's like, he says, I'm your neighbor, Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
or he said, you're a good neighbor or something like that.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Goes, hey, I'm Brian Wilson. I love how he introduced it. It reminds me of our interview with,
Gary.
With Gary. And Gary
Griffin.
Great. I'm not going to recap the story, but Gary tells a really great story, kind of about Brian's charm.
Chad Wilson also said earlier in the chat that he got to meet Brian at the Nashville Film Festival when it came out.
Wow. Oh, Chad, that is really cool. That's really cool. Hey, Sean O'Grady's in the house. Promise Road is fantastic. I only wish they showed some of the places they were driving to. We only saw inside the car while they were visiting. Yeah, you know what? That's true. You kind of.
Maybe they couldn't if they're private residences or something, the houses. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Joyce says, just found it on YouTube. I will watch it ASAP. Yeah, Joyce, just forget about our show. Go watch that. It's awesome. Macarena Elizabeth, hey, yes, DVD release is the 18th. All right, everybody. DVD comes out the 18th. Oh, wow, the 18th of this month? That's awesome. Pat Slattery, hey, Pat, how are you? I saw it at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York last June. Awesome. It was fantastic. Loved all the vintage photos. And his wedding pictures, so happy he looked. He looked really happy. Yeah, Pat, thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing that. Joe Winter says, Brian referred to the 60s. A trip, man. Yeah, a trip. Absolutely. Claire, Carl always did that too, introduced himself. Did he really? I didn't know that. I wonder if that's like I said, it's really sweet, really endearing.
Yeah.
For sure. So
Very humble,
yeah, really humble. All right, Matt. Well, hey, that was a pretty good.
Well, let's get to the second
launch.
part of that.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
The big news was that the original song written for the movie "Right Where I Belong" has been nominated for an Academy Award. It's one of 15 songs nominated. But what do you think of the song? I know you've heard it a few times.
I don't love it. I like the beginning part of it, and then it gets kind of I don't know. It gets a little weird to me.
I like the part when he sings that da na 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 na.
Right. That's like vintage Brian Wilson.
Brian.
Yep. It's great melodic line, nice production. But then it does this weird thing, I can't really explain it. He like sings really low, and I don't love it. But
the opening thing almost sounds like something off of Smile. It's weird, and it almost sounds like it's off key a little bit. I don't know if that was on purpose, like the background vocals, but then it goes into this beautiful thing. I wonder too, if that's supposed to be like, symbolizing like his mind, maybe, and then, but at the end of the day, I'm right where I belong with my music and all that. And then it gets pretty, I'm just, spitballing, but
I can't put it past the guy, right? He's a genius. So, absolutely.
Oh, and Chad met Brent Wilson, not Brian. Sorry. I read that wrong, but that's still awesome. So,
well, and and we're having Brent Wilson on. He was a producer director. Yes. We're having him on the show in a few weeks.
He'll be on the show. Yep.
Jen Smith. Hey, Jen, how are you? DVD is supposed to be released on the 18th at Target. Let's go to Target. Matt, we should camp out. No one else will camp out, but we will.
Take a video of it, yeah.
That'd be so funny. Set up a tent outside of Target. There's nobody. People just asking us what we're lining up for.
We'll be like, here's the line, and you pan the camera. It's just you and me.
Yeah, it's so funny. That would be great. That'd be good content. Buzz Ulrich. Hey, Buzz. I'm here in Alton, Illinois. St. Louis, Missouri is our suburb. Hey, Buzz. Thank you for joining us. What an honor to have you here.
Hey, Buzz.
Welcome. Come on in. You're a friend. Darren, in the UK, it's coming out January 22nd, the DVD. Spud, everybody, honored guest Spud is in the chat. What's up, Spud? Love when Brian yells out of his car asking what kind of car the other guy. That's right, Matt. He yells the other guy, asks him what kind of car he's driving. That's like,
he tells Jason Fine to do it. He's like, I'm not going to do it. So Brian's like, roll the window. Hey, what kind of car is funny?
So good. So good. Hey, Spud, thanks for being here, man. What an honor. Joseph from Manhattan. Hey, Joseph is not nominated yet. It's on the short list of 15 songs considered for the nomination in the end. Interesting.
I got to bring my news retraction next week.
Wow. I'll
news. Edit that.
Wow. Cancel, celebrate the news. We're already canceled as a news network. This is not going well.
I thought the short list meant it was. I'm sorry, that was my bad. But
great.
Well, still pretty cool. So.
Thanks, man. Sorry, Joseph. Hey, Morna, how are you? Just pre-ordered the DVD of Long Promised Road. Awesome. Tom, thanks for liking the stream. Scott James, it sounds like Night Blooming Jasmine. Oh, yeah, kind of,
Night
right?
Blooming Jasmine. Yeah, it does.
Scott,
it is
nice.
A variation of that stuff. Good catch, yeah.
Bill Larson says Brian will always be competing with himself. Yeah, and we'd love that about Brian. He'll never stop putting out music, I don't think. Frank Villa. Hey, Frank, how are you? I think it's Villa or Via. I'm not sure, but Frank, we're so happy you're here. I really love when the strings and guitar come in. Absolutely.
Yeah, the second time around. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Hey, Matt, that was good. I thought that was a nice kick, kind of start to the segment there.
It's neat to be in the 60th year of the Beach Boys, and they have relevance. There's news about them. That's, what I mean? That's out there right now. How many bands can you say that about? It's pretty neat, so it's good to be a fan right now.
Yeah. I think of bands like Herman's Hermits and like the Turtles, and like they were all great in the 60s. And forgive me for not knowing, but you're right, Matt. Like our favorite band could easily have been kind of one of those where it's kind of relegated.
Done in the 60s,
Yeah. So we're really lucky that stuff keeps coming, and hopefully some more stuff coming out too. Like when we talked with Alan Boyd, and he kind of mentioned some new stuff they're looking at putting out, and so that that stuff is churning behind the scenes as well. So really, really exciting stuff. So
yeah, and I didn't mention it in the news thing tonight, but another thing maybe for another time, but. Again, a good year to be a Beach Boy fan. I'm talking about more 2021, but At My Piano, Brian Wilson, debuted
Oh.
at #1 on the classical charts on Amazon.
cool.
That's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So great that they're all putting out new stuff. Also, Al Jardine is going on tour again, Matt.
Yes, he is. He's doing Al Jardine Family and Friends with Matt Jardine, Carney Wilson, and Wendy Wilson. That actually starts January 28th.
Yeah.
And he's going to tour through March and then get back with Brian later. But I wish he was coming around where I live, because I would love to see that show.
It's a real kind of very limited set of locations, but
yeah.
But I think I'm going to try and get out there. He's not coming anywhere near me, unfortunately.
I would love to, to hear him sing more of the leads and stuff. And again, he still has that pristine voice.
You know what? Hey, this is what we're about. Let me look up where he's coming. I know. Let me look it up, Matt.
Okay.
Matt,
but I'm glad
you tell a joke?
Touring while he's waiting, for the Brian Wilson tour. And that's another thing we could talk about real quick while he's looking it up. Brian Wilson is going on tour this summer with Chicago, which I was pretty surprised about.
How cool is that? Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And then Mike Love, of course, tours all year long. The big news with him is the cruise in March. Inquiring minds want to know, will Stamos be on the cruise? So we'll see.
Oh, I'm going. I will. I'll hide on the boat. Okay. So it looks like he's in January 28th. It starts. He's in Florida, Miramar, Florida. Then he's in Bethesda, Maryland. Then he's in Glenside, PA. Where's Glenside? Anybody know where Glenside is? Is that like Eastern or Western PA?
I have no idea.
Somebody help us out.
Oh, that'd be close. Maybe closer. Yeah.
If it's like Western PA, then we could totally go. Anybody Glenside, PA? Come on, chat. You're smarter than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Patchogue, New York. I mean, we grew up in New York. I've never even heard of that place. Patchogue.
Maybe upstate, like near Rochester or something. I don't know. It sounds like it might be. Well,
that's not. Rochester's about 4.5 from me.
Yeah.
That might be. Not, oh, it's Philly. Okay, so never mind. Okay, so Philly's out. Then Torrington, Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut, and New York's. Then Gilbert,
Pretty
Arizona,
awesome.
and San Juan Capistrano, California.
To go back.
Phoenix.
To California.
Then it's all West Coast stuff. He's in Salt Lake City, Colorado, Missouri. He's in Kansas City, Matt.
That's with Brian Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's over at that point.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
That would be really neat to see him and Carney and Wendy. That'd be cool. To hear them sing. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, how cool would their voices be with Al's?
Yeah, I'd love to hear what it said. I know we have a CD of it now from years ago, but it would be neat to hear that live. So.
Yeah, it would. Well, Matt, before we welcome on our guest, Rob Bonfiglio, we're so excited to have Rob on. We got a lot to ask him. It's going to be really fun. Matt, let's talk about our poll we had in our Facebook group. Hey, if you're on Facebook and you're not part of our group, get on there because we do a poll or question every week. And Matt, our question this week was, what is your favorite Beach Boys album? We thought we'd keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it easy. What's your favorite Beach Boys album? Matt, what's your favorite Beach Boys album?
And why? My favorite Beach Boys album still has to be the Beach Boys Today. I think it was the start of Brian Wilson's creativity into that second era. I especially love the second side of that record with Kiss Me Baby and I'm So Young and Please Let Me Wonder and She Knows Me Too Well. All those songs back to back just they move me all the time. I really like that record a lot. And I know Pet Sounds gets the accolades. It's the best, but Today is just, you know what I mean? It's almost one of the last records where they played most of the instruments as well, like the Beach Boys,
Yeah.
And I love it. So
yeah,
when I grew up to be a man,
Yeah. The album is.
What about you?
Is superb. Yeah, I think it's got to be Pet Sounds for sure. Yeah, I mean, I know it's more of like a Brian kind of solo work in a lot of ways, but they're still all contributing. It's one of the greatest records of all time. Now, usually when we ask this question, we say, hey, what's your favorite album? Not Pet Sounds, because it's too easy to pick Pet Sounds for a lot of people.
And some people mentioned that in their comments
in which case,
said without Pet Sounds, but I'm like, well.
Yeah, I know. In which case, my pick is definitely Summer Days. I think Summer Days and Summer Nights just has, production wise, it's my favorite album. I just think it sounds so 60s. You have Help Me Rhonda, you have California Girls, Girl Don't Tell Me. The whole album is absolutely superb. So I love Summer Days and Summer Nights.
You like Amusement Parks USA and I'm Bugged Up My Old Man?
Yeah, but there's filler on Today too. I mean, in the back of my mind.
Not really.
Yeah,
that's a great song, man.
Come on. Really?
No, I know what you're saying. The thing that about Summer Days and Summer Nights, it's really cool.
Wait, doesn't Today have the bull sessions with Big Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you get out of here?
That's not a music track though. You don't even have to listen to that one.
Still,
you know what I mean?
it's still filler. So don't get off.
All right,
me
fair
with that.
enough.
At least they're singing on Amusement Parks USA. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were.
Well,
thinking on that one.
But to your point though about Summer Days, it reminds me of like, you see commercials sometimes and you have these bands that try to imitate the Beach Boys. That's what that reminds me of. Like, that's where they were at their peak sound wise, with California Girls and Help Me Rhonda, where that Beach Boys sound that everybody tries to emulate, that's on that record,
That's it, man. And that's to me why Summer Days has to be, for me, the best, just because it is, I think they were at their peak as a group in the studio. How do you, California Girls let me ask you this, Matt. Is there a track on Today that's better than California Girls? Ooh.
Oh, Kiss Me Baby.
Oh, I love Kiss Me Baby, but really?
Again, what are you talking about?
The answer is no, there's not.
Are you talking about like musically? Are you talking about which one makes you think about the Beach Boys more?
No. Forget about your feelings.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter.
Nobody
Either
cares
way.
about your feelings. No, nobody cares about your
feelings.
Kiss Me Baby. When you put the two songs and you just compare them, I mean, there's no California Girls is the Beach Boys. That's it. Like, that is them. That's them,
I thought you just said that didn't matter.
I'm your feelings about it, how it makes you feel, I think is irrelevant in this conversation.
I see. No, honestly, there's a lot going on in Kiss Me Baby. The lyrics of California Girls are kind of gimmicky, but Kiss Me Baby's more about really a breakup, a lost love. When you listen to just the instrumental track and all the instruments he's utilizing and those vocals, man, with Brian's harmony on top and Mike's nice bass, to me, that's a better song in my opinion.
Awesome. It's a great
Yeah.
team.
Whoa, baby, kiss a little bit, bite a little bit, kiss a little. That's awesome.
Whoa, baby, kiss a little bit. Yeah, it's awesome. Chat, what do you think? What's your favorite? Beach Boys album? What do you think about this? We'd love for you to know. Tom Maddox says Sunflower. Sunflower got a lot of play last year because of the release, for sure. Man, it's tough. This Whole World, Add Some Music, Our Sweet Love. Our Sweet Love is one of my favorite
Dennis's
songs
tunes,
of all time.
Slip On Through. Michael B. Coates said, yes, Kiss Me Baby. He agrees with me.
Oh, no way. Bob. Hey, Bob, how are you? Sunflower and Dennis Wilson's lead voice and sings songs he wrote. Absolutely. Frank Vila, as much as I adore Today, Friends is just such an easy breezy album to listen to. Slightly edges out Today. Yeah. Friends is so good, man. And I sit and close my eyes. There's peace in my mind, and I'm hoping that you find it too. And these feelings in my heart, I know are meant for you. Meant for you. Man, it's tough to argue with that album because that is such a cool intro. Mike Love's vocal on that record is awesome. Aren't You Glad? Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. No, it's Aren't You
Glad's on Wild Honey.
But
it's got Wake the World.
Wake the World. I'm sorry. What's the other one?
It's got Friends, of course. Wake the World. It's got Busy Doing Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
It's got When a Man Needs a Woman.
Yeah.
Or When a Man Loves a Woman. Whatever. It needs a woman. I think.
Needs a woman. Yeah.
And then it's got Passing By, which is a really cool Brian Wilson instrumental that has some singing in it.
Annalie the Healer. In fact, if you haven't listened to Annalie the Healer, just the vocal, so cool. It is awesome. It's so great. I
Yeah.
can't say anything more about it. Go find. I think it's on the release. One of the bonus things they
the
released.
Friends one that came out. But that's why I say now we're so blessed to be fans, because when that album came out, and some people might hear that song and say, what is this? But when you just hear the harmony in that by itself, the vocals, it's really incredible, you know, what they're doing in that. Skipper said Wild Honey is his favorite. That's a good one too. I like that one a lot.
So good. I just want to stop the show and go listen to these records right now.
I know, I do too.
So good. Man, I love the Beach Boys. I love our band. It's just so cool. There's so many different rabbit holes to go down, and they're all awesome,
there really is.
Right? There is no wrong answer to this, obviously. But love it. So Owen Hassel. Hey, Owen, how are you? If I'm picking a non-Pet Sounds album, then Today. I think it blends the early years with what was to come. Man, that's true. You get the sense of the group, or at least the direction, or at least Brian was yearning for a new direction. Super cool. See the Wave. Oh, Little Bird. Awesome. Our good friend Steven Kalinich.
Steven Kalinich,
Oh, man, he is such a sweet guy. Do you think he'd come on the show again? He was awesome.
I think he might. We'll have to wait and see.
Man, I would love to. I would love to talk with him again. I feel like it was such a treat having Steven on.
Joy said,
such a sweet guy. Deirdre. No, Deirdre's on. Maybe we're talking about Sunflower, right?
Sunflower, but a song she likes. But maybe The Weeknd should cover Deirdre with Bruce. Like a, what do you think? Collaboration?
That would be scary. I don't know. Might be kind of cool.
All Summer Long has always been one of my favorites. That's
All Summer Long is classic. Hushabye.
Yeah, that's like the best of their surf and car
Down.
albums. You know what I mean? I Get Arounds on there. You know, it's.
I don't know about that. No, dude, I think you're wrong about that. But
Little Honda's on there. What am I wrong about?
Well, you said it's the best of their surf and car albums. The best of their surf and car albums is clearly Shut Down Volume 2.
You think so? I have a special place for that album. I love Keep an Eye on Summer, but I just think if you compare tracks, filler versus non-filler, I think All Summer Long's got a little bit more power to it. You know, Don't Back Down. Do You Remember?
It's tough. It's got I Get Around.
We'll Run Away. Wendy. Right?
Oh yeah. We know they're we know they're right when they say we're not ready.
Yeah, I mean.
But all we can. Yeah, that's a good.
And All Summer Long itself is such an awesome song, such a happy song.
Yeah, great tune. Jimmy Castro. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? The
Jimmy.
Smile Sessions is my favorite album so far. That doesn't count. You can't pick the Smile Sessions. I guess you can.
Oh man, that stuff is awesome though.
It is really. It is. It's pretty. I think if the Smile stuff had come out, I think Smile would be my favorite for sure. Do you like Worms? One of my favorites. Cabin Essence. Wonderful.
Yeah, the Cabin Essence. I love Wonderful on there.
So good.
Smile version. And the Surf's Up too. Yeah.
Claire says, "Well, I'm here on my own, loving Holland." Sorry, Claire, we haven't even mentioned Holland. But isn't that awesome about this band? Is we can all have an album, and the album may change day to day or moment to moment. Yeah. And we did a whole episode on Holland, and we had Mark on. Mark Schuster wrote an incredible book on Holland. If you haven't seen it, go get it. If you haven't read it, go check it out. It's on Amazon. But Holland to me is really special because it was one of the last, I think, tryhards in terms of like trying to be a legit
creativity,
creative band at the time. And I thought they really did themselves proud. Kind of before they kind of went back to the nostalgia, 15 Big Ones type stuff. But Leaving This Town is one of my favorites. Sail on Sailor.
Yeah.
Just
I like Only With You's on there, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And of course I like Funky Pretty. I know I'm in the minority, but I love that tune as well.
Well, Funky Pretty is Carl and the Passions, isn't it?
No, it's on Holland. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Marcella's on Carl and the Passions. That's You Need a Mess of Help to Stand Alone.
Oh, I'm thinking I Need a Mess. I'm thinking
Funky Pretty is da na 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 na.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's got that Brian Shortenbread stuff going on. Yeah.
Is this a magical tour? Yeah.
One neat one I saw in here was Bob Vaden said the Light album, and I think that's a very interesting shout out because I've been listening a lot lately to Angel Come Home. I really like that song. I love Dennis's vocal. Carl wrote that song, but that's got a really nice smooth sound as like a concept album almost. You know, everything's pretty much the same on it.
Under the table, the places are said.
And then Baby Blue, of course, is on there. That's my favorite Dennis song. So,
I go from chair to chair, where the places are hung. I'm waiting for my end to come home. It's been hell being here alone. Angel, angel, come home. If you see it, tell my angel.
And a Baby Blue is on that record.
Baby Blue, I love. Yep.
Sumahama's on that record. I know. I actually like.
Yeah,
Sumahama.
good timing.
Good timing.
And then, of course, you have the 45-minute version of "Here Comes the Night." So,
Man, that is rough. That's rough to listen to. If we're ever lucky to have Bruce on the show, do you think that'd be off limits? To be like,
I think
hey man,
I think he's proud of that, man. I think he likes it. So
yeah,
we
but
just pick his brain about
and
it.
that's why it would be off limits, because my question would be like, hey man, do you regret doing a 40-minute disco version of "Here Comes the Night"? And I would just
but you know, Carl's vocals,
let him answer.
Carl's vocals awesome on that though. If you listen to it,
My heart was breaking down just out of me.
Harley Pinson said, "Pet Sounds." Then Today, I think, that's So he likes Today the second
It's
best.
so
That's good. Pick.
It's so
Good. Claire likes Funky Pretty. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. I like that a lot.
Yeah, Baby Blue. Wait, Somewhere Near Japan. When is what record's that off of? Is that
Which song?
Somewhere Near Japan? What record?
That's on the Still Cruising.
Oh man, Still Cruising's a great record. That's another one we're probably gonna have.
The
to
first
revisit.
half is, and then the second half's just oldie songs, you know. But
some filler. We'll have to Vince says, "Here Comes the Night" disco is a good song in my opinion. I will not take this slander, Vince.
Many moods of Vince, man.
I think Vince is smoking something, to be honest.
Joe Winter said Surfer Girl on the Stockholm Live concert was fabulous. Yeah, I got into that the other night. That, if you haven't watched that, everybody, it's really neat. The sound, it's almost like it could have been on a CD. Like I don't know what you call that. It's recorded professionally, soundboard or something. I don't know, but it's really good.
Which one, brother? What are you talking about?
From Stockholm. Joe Winters mentioned the Stockholm concert, a 64.
Yeah,
and Brian sings Surfer Girl on there, man. It's awesome.
Brian doesn't. I don't think Brian sounds very good on that. You're right. The quality is great, but
Surfer Girl, I think he sounds really good. But
yeah, Brian, it sounds like he's sick or something on that concert. But
Skipper said, Greg, can you replicate Carl's from God, Please Let Us Go On This Way on Love You. Remember it goes to get you, baby, went through the ring. Nobody mentioned Love You either. That's interesting.
To get you better went through the ring. Soul is my fondest desire. Gonna do this on the fire. God, oh God.
See, it's weird chord change, right?
Let us go on this way. All day long together.
oh man, we'll
See,
do request.
We have extrasensory perception.
Oh, there you go. Keep going.
I don't know. Headed on affection way in the sky.
Okay,
flying so high.
We're gonna do requests later where we'll sing and we'll have fun. But we're getting close here to having Rob on. So let's finish off our comments here and we'll prepare for Rob. Oh, Full Sail. Claire says Full Sail from Light Album. Carl's vocals are just beautiful. Absolutely. Allison says we're talking Love You now, huh? Hey Greg, do your favorite song. Dink. No, Allison, you do.
Oh, Lady Linda's on Love You Too. Al's awesome tune with Ron Outback. Yeah, and Bach, but you know it's
Ron is so talented. I have to post a video of Ron actually playing piano. I think with some orchestra or something like that, but it's really cool. We're gonna post it on our Beach Boy Talk page.
Cool.
Yeah, Nolan says I also like their '85 album, as there's a lot of songs that have grown on me. I think their '85 album is so good. We had oh my gosh,
Robert White Johnson.
We had Robert White Johnson on, who wrote a lot with Carl in the '80s, and like Where I Belong is awesome. I actually like Passing Friend.
It's Getting Late. He wrote.
It's Getting Late is awesome tune.
I will tell you though, man, you turned me on to
Oh wait, I'm thinking of Keeping the Summer Alive. No, I'm not. Where I Belong.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm good. Okay, sorry. I can't. All right. Hey, Matt.
Oh, Jeff McAvoy mentioned love you. Sorry. Awesome. Very good.
All right. Matt, I think oh wait, how do I get him on here?
I'm gonna go back to my serious hat here.
No, I like the Mike Love hat. Rob.
There he is.
Rob, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yay!
All right.
Everybody, please help me welcome with lots of claps and hearts and all those kind of things for Rob Bonfiglio. What an honor to have you on our show, Rob. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
I like your hat, man.
Oh, thank you.
That's your thing now, huh?
I don't know. I don't know how things happen. This is how things happen. My brother Matt pulled out a Mike Love classic hat earlier.
I did. I took it off. I was a little embarrassed, but there it is.
It's classic.
Yeah, man.
Classic Mike. Rob, how are you, man? You've been staying healthy, staying
good.
safe?
So far, so good. Knock on wood, man.
Man, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Well, we're gonna jump right in if that's okay with you. We got lots of questions for you. You're getting a lot of highs in the chat from all of our folks.
Can I give a little background, Greg, real quick?
I love it, Matt. Let's do it.
You could start the questions.
Sounds good.
Rob, thank you. My name's Matt. Thank you for being
Matt,
here.
of course.
It's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Rob Bonfiglio first gained national prominence in the mid-'90s as a founding member of RCA recording act Wanderlust, who scored a radio hit on the Billboard charts with I Walked, and landed prime opening gigs for The Who, Collective Soul, and others. Prolific songwriter, Rob's original songs have scored high-profile placements in TV, commercials, and films, most notably Disney's 2008 release Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh my God,
he's the musical director for Wilson Phillips. He's a current member of the Brian Wilson Touring Band, and being a prolific writer himself. I believe you have 6 studio albums. Is that correct, Rob? Do I have that number correct?
5 or 6. I'm not sure.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then
just jumping in real quick, Rob, Mea Culpa, awesome record, man.
Thanks, man.
I love the production on it. It's like grassrootsy. It's super cool, man.
It's very homemade DIY.
I love it. I can hear it. It's awesome. Sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to jump in.
Well, I just had one more thing. And then you put out a single recently during the pandemic called Hands Together. Is that correct?
Hands Together. Yeah.
Yes. Which is awesome too. So we are honored to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
I'm grateful to be here. Thanks, man.
Rob, I'm going to ask you the questions we ask all of our guests. They're kind of they can be they're kind of bummer questions, but they're really fun for us. So please humor us here. Favorite Beach Boys song? Do you have a favorite Beach Boys song? And it can be just kind of your favorite song right now or your favorite of all time.
Right.
And we're putting you on the spot here.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it depends on the mood. It depends on the day. It depends on, is it my favorite song to play or is it my favorite song to just sit down and listen to? I think at the end of the day, probably pound for pound, I don't know, This Whole World, Till I Die, those.
The deep ones.
The deep Till I Die, darker, a little darker edge.
They're darker. They're moody and they're intense and heavy and there's just a lot of stuff in there.
I love it. That's a fantastic answer. I don't know if we've had Till I Die in there, Matt, as an answer.
No, and that's one of my favorites. I love that one.
It is, Matt. It's one of Matt's favorites. All right, Rob, how about let's take Pet Sounds out of the equation because it's almost a beast of its own, right? I think a lot of people put that in their favorite category. Do you have a favorite record, something, a favorite Beach Boy album, maybe something you're just spinning right now that you really love or your all-time favorite?
Well, again, it's like, it depends on what the day is and the mood and all that. I love Friends. Friends is cool because it's just so chill and it's like, it's different. I love, you're just talking about Love You. I love that album because it's playful and it's just like, wow, what is this? Whoa, this is cool. And I love, Sunflower. I don't know, man. There's a lot. There's a lot out there to love and there's so many different things. I mean, there's a lot of differences in these records and the scope is so broad,
Yeah. We were just talking about how lucky we are to be fans of a band that has so many different rabbit holes that you can legitimately go down, and they're all very different. So we're talking about music. Let's go back a little bit for you, Rob. Can you kind of give us the kind of Cliff Notes version of how you kind of got to music? Was it something you grew up with? Is it in high school did you start playing? What kind of talk us through kind of your music journey?
Well, I didn't grow up in a musical family. Nobody played instruments, but we the radio was always on. My older sister, 4 years older than me, used to bring home 45s and stuff. So this was the 70s. Yeah. And I gravitated towards all the bubblegum pop and the power pop. We had, Osmond records, and we had Jackson 5 stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had like Sweet Ballroom Blitz. That was like a very memorable 45.
Yeah.
Badfinger and Raspberries and all that stuff. I remember hearing young, really young.
Right.
And then by the time I was in my formative years, like 12 on through high school, I was really into, guitar rock and Led Zeppelin and classic rock and the Who and the Stones and the Kinks, like later 70s stuff. And that kind of propelled my interest in guitar. And, we had study hall, we had a band, kind of a make-believe band that we put together in study hall. We never actually played, and this was in 7th grade. So that's where I was determined. We never actually played. That's technicality. But at that point, they chose me for rhythm guitar. I'm like, okay, great. And then I got a guitar for my birthday. It was my 12th birthday, and I never put it down. And it was just an evolution from there. And then as I got a little bit older towards my college years, I gravitated to jazz, and I went to Berklee College of Music.
Wow.
After a year out of high school, and I immersed myself, and it was nothing but jazz. And I'm talking straight ahead jazz, classic, Miles Davis, Coltrane, all that beautiful stuff. And that's a deep, deep love of mine as well. And I grew up in a great town. Philadelphia is a real soulful city, a lot of soul music, and just the pedigree of music is there all around you at all times, whether you seek it out or not. It's there. It's on the radio. It's in the air. It's in the water. And so my love of that music, soul music and everything like that, it's deep, man. It runs deep.
Pretty well rounded. It seems you kind of had a little bit of everything in a lot of ways.
A little bit of everything is right.
So then, before, obviously you're connected with the Beach Boys and the group. There were a lot of different ways. Was there a point, do you remember the first time you heard a Beach Boy record? Did it do anything for you? And can you kind of, before playing with the group, did you kind of listen to the Beach Boys at all? Was it something on your radar? I mean, it sounds like a lot of the bands are awesome that you're listening to, but a lot of folks that I know that listen to are huge Zeppelin heads aren't Beach Boy fans at all, right? So, I mean, is that something you started to listen to at some point?
Well, my earliest memory of Beach Boys related anything was my dad. It's funny, it's ironic. My dad is one of 3 brothers, as Brian, Dennis, and Carl. So it's interesting. But my dad's youngest brother, I remember he was still living at home. I was really young, and he was a big Beach Boys fan. And I just remember looking like at his turntable and seeing that, that Capitol Spiral.
Exactly.
And it just stuck in my head. It wasn't even music. It was just a visual thing. And I didn't really put any of the pieces together until, I can't even recall the first time I heard any of the surf songs or whatever, but I'm sure they were constantly being played at some point or another. I didn't really, because I like to say I'm a Beatles guy. I don't. Sometimes the encampments are like, you're either this or you're that. But I was a Beatles guy originally, and I still am, of course. I mean, that's like the lifeblood there. I didn't come to really truly appreciate the artistry and the depth of the Beach Boys music until probably late high school and after. And I did discover Pet Sounds, and I did get it. I understand. I understand the darkness of this record and the beauty. It's sunshining in a way, but it's very deep and it's dark and it's angsty and it's a lot of that stuff. And it really hit me, and I got it. I understood it, and then from there it was a deep dive.
I love that. That. So can you kind of? I'll hand it over to Matt here after this question, but can you kind of talk us through? Okay, so you're at Berklee. You work your way out into the world. Do you go back to Philly, or how do you get to where you are today? I mean, can you kind of talk us through how you get with the touring group?
So after Berklee, I lived in Boston for 4 years. I came back to Philly, kicked around in a few bands, rock and roll. I kind of returned to my rock root. I was doing jazz. I live kind of duplicitously. I do jazz and I do rock, and they don't really cross. It's two separate disciplines. But I was back, I was feeling out my rock roots again and looking to be in a band. And that's when I joined Wanderlust. That was at the time, we were 4 guys looking to get a record deal. And we did. We got a record deal. We signed to RCA and we toured, and it was an amazing thing. And it lasted for a couple of years, and then it was done. And from that point on, wow, what was next? It's funny. I met Carney, who's my wife of 21 years now.
Yeah,
we met backstage at an Al Jardine show. My dear friend Ken Sharp, who's an author and a musician, he took me to see Al Jardine, Family and Friends. And this was like it was an incarnation of the Beach Boys, and it was Al's thing, and it had Carney and Wendy. Was Owen Elliott. I don't remember if she was there. Richie Canada was there. Bobby Figueroa. So I met her backstage, and I don't even know how it happened, but she, we parted ways, and then we somehow got in touch with one another through email, and it just became dating, and it became 21 years of marriage. I mean, so that brought me to California. Okay, so that's 1999, 2000, 2001. From that's when I started doing solo records, because Wanderlust was gone at that point. There's kind of a void in my soul to do music, to do rock stuff. Still playing jazz. This is completely separate, two separate things. And I just started making records, and then Wilson Phillips reignited their touring thing, and this is around 2004. They did the album called California that Peter Asher produced, and funny enough, I play with Peter Asher now as well, so that's a whole other thing.
Okay.
And we started doing some dates again. So that was the rebirth of Wilson Phillips.
Cool.
All the while, Brian's band is doing their thing. They were going everywhere, doing records and really making things happen. And I've been asked a few times, why aren't you playing with Brian's band? And it just, there was no opening. There was nothing, it didn't happen. It wasn't the time. And so flash forward to 3 years ago, I joined the band. So, I mean, we can get down that road too. We can talk about that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So 2018, the Christmas tour. Matt Jardine was on kind of a hiatus for that particular run, and I was asked to do it, and I was scared to death because I was taking that role, that high.
You'd sing. I've seen a lot of those clips on YouTube.
Crazy.
And with all the toys and all those. Yeah.
All that stuff. I mean, it was so fun. It was very daunting, but incredibly fun. So after that was 2 months on the road. We did 2 months of that. After that, I didn't know if I was coming back. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then later on in the new year, after that Christmas tour, I found out, Matt's coming back. So there's not really anything for me to do. And that's when Mike Love asked me to join for a quick run. It was about 3 or 4 weeks, filling in for Brian Eichenberger, who was on paternity leave. And that was a lot of fun. That was a really, really fun little run. Right around that time, this was August of 2019. Terrible twist of events, but strange and fortuitous at the same time for me. Nikki Wonder passed away, I mean, just as they were about to do another tour, and it was dreadful and horrible. And I was asked to fill that position. So sad twist of events, but it happened, and that's where I'm at now. So, but I'm grateful to be there now, and I think that the times we've been out in the last year and a half with this faction of the band has been a blast. I love it. I look forward to more.
I bet. Awesome.
But God bless Nikki. Nikki was the best. And
oh man, well I grew up. I mean, we grew up with him. Watching him on stage with Brian.
Real shock.
Greg and I have seen the Brian Wilson band a lot, and he was there for years. So that guitar in the back there.
Of course, man. That back line, there he is. That's Nikki.
Yeah.
I remember going to one show, and it was shortly after he passed, and they just had his guitar up there. It was really kind of touching. Really it was rough, but
a really tough tour, I'm sure. Wow. Yeah.
Well,
so,
in that vein, Rob, with working with Brian Wilson as a songwriter yourself, kind of now that you're playing the music and practicing and going through, what are your thoughts on just his not competition, compositions, like musically, you know what I mean? Do they kind of, I don't have a musical mind that way, but I can hear things and I'm like, wow, that is amazing, but since you have a background in jazz and everything, what do you think about his compositions in general?
I'm fascinated by his songwriting and his body of work. I don't approach it in any analytical sense. It's just like, if it moves you, it moves you. Mm-hmm. And I'm moved by so much of that music, and it's complex and it's original and it's unique. It's an incredible gift to be there and to stand back and be on stage and play these songs and look at the guy over there who wrote all these songs. It's a real amazing thing. It probably didn't really answer the question, but that's where, I don't know.
Well,
that's where
I kind of have a side question with that, Rob. You kind of talked a lot about your rock and roll roots, that you really kind of enjoy that. Does touring with the Beach Boys kind of scratch that itch for you? Because if I'm listening to bands like Zeppelin and you even mentioned Badfinger and that kind of stuff, I don't know that the Beach Boys necessarily kind of do that type of stuff.
Right.
It's a different thing. Being a rocker yourself,
you're right.
Do you feel like you're not, like there's more for you to do outside of this, or does it, or when you're on stage you're getting it?
I'm getting one thing when I'm doing. I can't do any one thing. I have to do a lot of different things. So this is just one incredible, and it's an incredible and all-encompassing thing. But it's not my entire musical diet. It's not my. Right. Yeah, I got to work out too. I got to do something where I have a guitar in my hands and I'm either in front of a microphone singing and doing my Chuck Berry duck walks or whatever, that kind of thing. that itch is still there. But and I do my solo stuff and I can get satisfaction doing that. I do a lot of different things around town with different groups. The old band Wanderlust, we did a record just the other year, and there's talk of doing more and doing that live again as well. But it's I don't know. I need a nice big buffet.
Yeah.
That's neat. When you're performing with the Brian Wilson tour, do you have any particular songs you like playing more than others?
I love playing Long Promised Road. I love doing. I don't know what it is.
Cool.
It's just a groove that I love. The Blondie songs are so much fun. I love the Pet Sound stuff, of course. We do Heroes and Villains is a lot of fun vocally. Man, they all offer something different, But, off the top of my head, Long Promised Road is a lot of fun.
That's a cool answer. Yeah.
That is neat. Yeah. And I'll ask you one more and then I'll pass it back over to my brother. What about the most challenging? You're a very gifted guitar player, but are there any songs because of the chords or whatever, or hearing, that are very challenging to play on stage in that catalog?
Yeah. Not so much like, God, I don't know if I can get through this. Believe it or not, like songs like God Only Knows that we do, it's been done a million times, but it's very concise, and there's things that you gotta hit. And if you're off the mark a little bit, it's like, ooh, and I've been off the mark a little bit a few times, and it happens. Yeah. That's always a challenge. That's the one I'm always nervous about, because I think that the people are so enamored by it, and it's such a beloved song that everybody is like, here's the spiritual moment of the set, is God Only Knows.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
So I feel kind of pressured.
Yeah.
I'm
more nerve-wracking.
It's funny you say that. I want to ask you about meeting Brian and the rest of the guys kind of the first time, but before I do that, kind of in that same kind of train of thought, I think we asked Probin this. I think we've asked a couple of the guys this. Did you ever have a moment on stage where you just completely bit it, where it was like, oh my gosh, this was bad, like really bad? You may not have. I'm not saying there's a good chance you have, but it's always possible.
Well, just little. Thankfully, no.
That's good. Okay.
Moments where I'm like, oh man, I'm overboard. No, I mean little things where, oops, I'm singing the wrong part, or oops, I can't hear myself, or something. And luckily, there hasn't been like anything like strings breaking in the middle of key moments, like say the opening of "Wouldn't It Be Nice."
That's good.
You don't want to break a string there, or luckily, and again, knock on wood, that doesn't ever happen. But no, I've been pretty fortunate so far.
Well, I really hope coming on the show did not jinx that, because that would be terrible. But awesome.
Doing the Christmas tour, but having to take the Matt's parts during that time, there were moments where I don't know if I'm going to hit the note because my voice was either scratchy that day or whatever. So that was more terrifying than anything. Oh,
that would be, because you're super exposed up there. Too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You are there. You're singing the lead on all that pretty much.
Yeah.
Go.
Some notes to hit.
We got a really funny story from Matt. Keep Jesse and the Ripper. Why do I keep?
Oh, Gary Griffin. Yeah.
Gary Griffin. Where Gary was playing in the 70s or 80s with Brian. It was one of his first times, and Brian came up to him right before the show and said, "Hey, when I look at you on stage, I need you to sing the high parts." And I guess like he looked like right before, he just turns his head quickly and stares at him, and he's just got to do the part. It's a really funny story. But,
well, if anybody could do it, Gary can do it.
Oh, he's so great. So speaking of Brian. Yeah. I'm guessing that you met him, and maybe not, but before actually playing with the group. But can you maybe talk us through your first interactions with Brian, what your experience was like?
Well, I met Brian after Carney and I were together, so we must have been dating. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember specifically. I think we went to his house, and he stuck out his hand and said, "Hi, I'm Brian." And, it's one of those things where you have to kind of like just. You're sort of outside your body because you realize who this is. This is Brian,
right?
But also, this is Carney's dad, and it's you're not coming. I didn't approach it as I'm a fan and I love you. I mean, I did, of course, but I was just there as his daughter's boyfriend at the time.
Did he give you a talk?
Was rather strange. What's that?
I was gonna say, did he give you like the talk? Did he sit you down? Yeah, I need her back by 10.
He did. I was too nervous to even comprehend. I don't remember. But we would go out to dinner and stuff with Brian and Melinda and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Did you find it hard to kind of separate? Like, how long did it take you before it was like normal for you? Because to me, don't think I would ever get there, right? But eventually, you have to feel comfortable at some point.
You feel comfortable, but I don't know that it ever feels normal. Normal, I mean. Fair. It's not. I'm not going to say it doesn't feel normal. It just always feels extraordinary. How's that?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's
that's
amazing answer.
Yeah.
How about Al? The first time you ever got to hang out with Al or meet Al?
Well, the first time I ever got to see and kind of sort of hang out with Al was the day I met Carney. That was that day because again, my friend Ken was there. Ken was there. I joined Ken, and he was there to interview Al for some publication or another. I don't remember what it was, but we got to spend some time with Al and hang out. It was Al and Matt, and he was just really funny and cool, and it was super, super cool to be near a Beach Boy. I never met a Beach Boy. I was wow, it's Al, wow. It was all it was all at once. It was like Al was there, and Carney was there, and Wendy was there, and Billy Hinchey was there, and Kokomo was there, and everybody was there at once, and everybody was cool. And we went out to dinner, and it was a lot of fun. So. I have nothing but fondness for my first impressions with Al.
I love that.
We always credit Al for having me and Carney having met and having children and everything. We say, Al, this is because of you, man.
Oh, awesome.
Like,
Greg and I talk on the show a lot too about Al, his voice. He's such a great singer still.
Oh, he's
that'd be neat to be in the band where you get to hear him just get up to the mic every night and just sing like he sounded in the 60s. That has to be a thrill.
Rob, I would kill somebody just to stand there. I don't even have to play anything on stage, but just to be on stage with him as he's singing "Help Me, Rhonda," like to have that experience. You know what I mean? Or just like one of his iconic tunes where you're just like, holy crap, that's the guy that sings this song. He's actually singing.
And we're doing a week of shows with Al in March, late March. It's going to be, Al and Matt and Carney and Wendy. Yeah, so it's like the Al is kind of like
you're playing in those as well?
Are you
in? I am, yeah.
Oh, cool. We were just talking. Yeah, you guys are traveling everywhere in the world. We're not, but where
are you guys?
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and Matt's out in Nebraska.
I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. So nobody ever comes out here. So
yeah.
What is it? Saddle Creek? Isn't that the label out there?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Wow, that's taking me. Yeah, very cool. So let's go. you have such an interesting perspective because you got to play with both groups. And I kind of want to ask you a question off the cuff about that. But Mike, so somebody calls you. I don't know if Mike calls you. That would be crazy. But who calls you and says, hey, come on, do this, I think a 3 or 4 weeks show. And then when you met Mike, can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah. So it was Scott Totten, who's the MD of our band.
Sure. Yeah.
Who rang me up and asked if I was around and available to do that. So meeting Mike, let me see, when did I meet Mike? I've met Mike before. So going out there for the first time, that wasn't
the first time then.
That wasn't the first time I'd met Mike. No.
Okay.
We actually know, because actually about 10 years prior, maybe less than 10 years, we were doing what was what we termed the what was it called again? It was the kids of the Beach Boys. It was
you did that for the 50th reunion tour, right?
Yeah, the 50th. Yeah. With Matt.
California.
California
Saga. Is that what it was called? Something like that.
Saga. So that's when I think that's when we first went. I first met Mike, and I remember we did a little performance at the Grammy Museum, doing California Girls with Mike singing. And that was
that'd be awesome.
That's another one of those I would kill to be you in that moment.
That's Mike's iconic vocal, you know.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun when we went out for those couple of weeks with Mike. He's a funny dude. He was entertaining to talk with, and he was a nice guy, and Bruce was just a lovely guy, and I loved it, man. I loved it.
Man, I bet Mike would be so much fun to hang out with, a party with. I bet he's got some stories.
He's got stories out the wazoo.
Yeah, I bet he does. Okay, how about Bruce? So I'm assuming.
I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
He was in India with the Beatles and the Maharishi. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh yeah. Do you ever Do you ever get man? Well, being a huge Beatle fan, then do you ever kind of get like the itch to talk to Brian or any of those guys about the Beatles? Do you have you ever like gotten a chance to talk to them about that?
Well, I got to see Brian in 2001. I think it was at the Greek Theater. And I think Paul Simon was it the Paul Simon tour? I don't remember.
Cool.
Who I also adore. Icon. But anyway, so Paul happened to go to the show for some reason. He was in the audience. So we went backstage. It was Carney and myself, Wendy, and a friend of Wendy's. And this is backstage. Okay, so this is a little room backstage. So it's me, Carney, Wendy, her friend Graham, Brian, and who comes in? Paul McCartney. So it's just us. That's all it was back there. So my head was just like,
what happened to me?
I didn't even. I was just. You could have just knocked me over better. So.
Man.
Wow.
See, he was. I listened to an interview with Paul McCartney on a podcast called Smartless with Jason Bateman. But he seems like the nicest person in the entire world. He's just so kind, so sweet. I can imagine that he would be just a joy to be around for sure. And let alone all this music.
You know what? My impressions of having met him just in those few moments were he's just the first thing I noticed, I looked down, he kind of had like a suit jacket on, whatever. I looked down and he had like Nike shoes on. And I was like, oh, that kind of like makes him like a regular dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Notwithstanding that he's probably one of the wealthiest musicians in the world, the most famous musician in the world, probably the most, iconic with the incredible. I mean, can you imagine the life of Paul McCartney? He's just
nope.
It's just
That's just it. When you ask that question, the answer, I think, has to be no, because it is the most ridiculously amazing. I'm sure it's filled with hardships, no doubt. Everybody does, but the experiences have got to be amazing.
Yeah, right.
So that Hulu documentary with Paul McCartney was really cool when he goes through his songs. Did you watch that one?
Rick Rubin. You know what? I saw a little bit of it, and I still have to finish watching that. I got hung up because I watched the Let It Be documentary.
Yeah. How about Bruce? Did you?
What's that?
Had you met Bruce before going on tour with Mike and the gang?
Yeah, okay. I think I met Bruce when Carney and I, again, when we were first together. She actually moved to Philadelphia for a year.
Oh wow! Okay.
We were engaged and we lived together for a year. Yeah. And Mike's Beach Boys had come out and played an area in town. Is it Ardmore? I can't remember. It's the Keswick Theater. And we got to meet Mike and Bruce, or I got to meet Mike and Bruce for the first time. And I mean, he was just, and I think, you know what, was he at our wedding? I don't even remember.
Listen to that question, Greg. Was Bruce at my wedding? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think Bruce was. No, actually, I know his wife and his son was, but yeah.
It's a big mic drop. He wasn't invited, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's great. That's so great. I love it.
But when we went out on tour with Bruce or with Mike and Bruce, yeah, I mean, Bruce and I just chatted it up the whole time. It was stories and stories. It was awesome.
What about now this, I don't know how the timeline lines up here, so forgive me, but would you have ever gotten a chance to meet or see Carl?
Nope.
In any way? Okay. Not
He
yet.
passed away, I think it was in 1998.
98, yeah.
98. I met Carney in 99. So
okay.
Unfortunately, and I hear, he would have loved him and he would have loved you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel his spirit though. I feel
I bet you do. I think that is sure. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Blondie. How about Blondie? That's gotta be he seems like such a neat cat to be on stage with, and kind of unpredictable, or what's he like?
He's rock and roll, man. And he is, there's no pretense about Blondie. He's just rock and roll. And it is apparent when you see him. It's like, you hang out with Blondie and then it's like, well, who came first? Was it Keith Richards, that persona, or was it Blondie? Because they're both so similar in their personas. They're later day personas. And I know that Blondie spent many years with Keith with the Stones. So I don't know, man. He's just a rock and roll dude through and through.
Yeah.
Greg and I got to meet him, and it was pretty funny. We saw him in the theater. We shook his hand, and then we did like a meet and greet. And then he was there. He's like, "Oh, it's you guys again." It was really funny.
Yeah, we're like the annoying Beach Boy nerds. Yeah, it was.
You guys are the youngest guys here, and you guys are like so excited. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I love.
Yeah, Blondie's funny. He's a spiritual guy, and he's just cool, man. He's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
So when you get ready to go back on tour with Brian's band, how much do y'all have to practice? Is it kind of old hat, or do you have to do a lot of preparation?
Well, and can I add to that, Rob, before you answer? Do you mind if I add to that question a little bit? And then especially with like touring with Chicago, I know that's coming up. Are you involved in that? And kind of along with that, preparing for stuff like that?
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to that. That's starting in June. Yeah, Brian and Chicago, a double bill.
Crazy.
Rehearsals, these guys have been a band, the core of the band have been together for so long. They know the material pretty well, but we always spend a few days as a band rehearsing.
Yeah.
Luckily, I charted a lot of stuff out just to have it Perfect. There, man. I know what it's like learning stuff, and then you forget stuff, and you're like, if I only charted this stuff out and I would have had it. So I'm pretty meticulous that way. It's not. It is kind of like old hat. It's like riding a bike.
That's cool.
I love that.
Are y'all gonna do? Can you give us any insights? Are y'all gonna play any songs with Chicago or anything like that?
I hope so. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know.
Wish you were here. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be.
That's right. That's
well,
right.
Hey, what? So, can you tell us what else you have going on? We want to. And do you mind if we take some questions from the chat? Our chat is awesome.
No, I love
They're the
it.
best people in the entire world. Before we get to that, can you kind of talk us through what else you have going on? I know you have some awesome solo stuff. It is really great. Can you? Are you working on any new projects? Anything we should be on the lookout for?
I have, in this downtime that we've had in the last year and a half or two or however long. I've written about 20 new songs that I'd like to, and I've started a new record, but I've been kind of lazy about it. But I'm piecemealing it together. I just finished a track for a friend of mine, Fernando Perdomo's doing a record in tribute to Todd Rundgren's Something Anything.
Cool.
I'm a Todd freak. He's another Philly boy, so I'm a Todd nut.
That was great.
But we did. I did the song Marlene, and then I did the song Black Mariah. That has Stan Lynch playing the drums. Durga McBroom is singing, and it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. So that we just finished up that. Working on the new record, new songs. I'm scheduled to go play a cruise at the end of February, which I don't know is going to happen because of everything. With Peter Asher and also Joey Molland of Badfinger. So there's going to be
awesome. No way. Yeah. So along with that, putting out a record now, kind of now that you've been with the Beach Boys and Brian and you've been with Carney for a long time, do you find that you're able to, like, for example, if you wanted to record a record right now, could you or could you call up certain people that maybe you couldn't have called up 10, 15, 20 years ago? That would be like no brainer to have like play on a record, or like how does
probably
that work?
Could. Yeah, I probably could. I was thinking, man, playing with Stan Lynch and doing this song, I love his playing so much. He's such a beautiful musical drummer. I'm like, I want him on my record.
Yeah, right. Could you like?
I've always done it myself because I'm just like, I don't know. Do I really do you think they'll actually want to play with me? Really? No. Yeah. That kind of thing. But I'm starting to get bold, and I'm thinking of stepping outside the box a little bit for this new record and having some people.
Well, I got to tell you, I love your solo record, folks. Thanks, Mea Culpa's awesome record. Hold on tight. Go listen to that. Go listen to that thing and check out a solo set. It was really great. It's not Beach to me. It's not Beach Boys. Like I wasn't sure going into it. I'm like, is this going to be kind of like a Beach Boy knockoff type stuff and not? I hope that's not. I hope I'm not insulting you at all. I think
not at all.
It's incredibly musical, but yeah.
In terms of influences, it's like me personally, I can't. Man, when I feel like I'm going too close to an influence, I have to get away from that because it's just. I don't know what it is, man. I can't do it.
No, I love it. I think
everything that all the influences that you may or may not hear is subconscious, and I'm kind of happy and proud about that. So
yeah, very
so cool.
Well, hey, chat. If you have some questions for Rob, we'd love to take them now. I'm sure you've got a lot. I've already seen a couple. So if you have questions, put them in the chat, and we will read them. And one of our first ones from Chad. Hey, Chad, man, thanks for being here. Rob, what's something that you learned by playing with the guys that blew your mind? Anything that you learned? I suppose musical, not musical, playing with the Beach Boys or Brian.
Well,
that's a tough one because that could be a lot of different answers, right?
Could be. Do you mean just in the Beach Boys camp or musicians in general?
I think probably anything, kind of just anything in the world that that kind of shocked you or
shocked me.
Maybe not shocked, not the right word, right?
I think maybe it's easy to discern who's the real deal and who's not. Maybe that's and again it's kind of like a Zen thing. I can't really answer that question by saying, well, I learned A flat major 7 is
right
the fourth chord in the key of it wasn't any of that. That stuff's peripheral. That's something else.
Yeah,
it's more like how to conduct yourself, how to be professional, how do you interact with people. It's important. It's just as important to be personally compatible as it is to be musically compatible. That kind of stuff.
I love it.
Like the experience stuff.
That's a great answer. Kind of along with that, Allison, Beach Boy Fans Forever, awesome friend of the show. She wanted to know, what's your best memory of joining Mike and Bruce on the road? Do you have any favorite memories of being on that short tour with them?
Yeah. We played some, man, forgive me because I can't remember where we were. It might have been in Virginia. It was a shed, so it was kind of like half indoors, half outdoors, and it was a big, a lot of people. And I just remember how much fun that was. And the audience was so excited and happy and enthusiastic. That's a general kind of thing. I remember
that.
All the shows with Mike were a lot of fun. They were very celebratory, and people were just happy. And when we would do Surfer Girl, the phones would be up. He had this thing where everybody turned on their phone, and everybody would go back and forth, and it was just the sea of phone and the lights, the little flashes.
Well, so
yeah,
I have so that's kind of a question, and this is we are not a political show. We don't have camps or anything like that. We love every Beach Boy. They're all awesome. Sure. But you have such a cool experience. I have to ask this question.
Sure.
I'm not asking about, let's not ask about the bands because they're phenomenal musicians and sometimes interchangeable in a lot of ways. Like a lot of guys play with each other. In terms of audiences and people that come see the group, do you notice any big differences between the two? Is it weird not having, with Brian, you kind of don't really have a front man to do like you kind of mentioned the Surfer Girl type fun stuff that a front man might do. And maybe I'm missing something there, but can you maybe talk through some of the differences that you notice? Nothing negative, obviously, but maybe just the obvious differences between the two.
Well, again, these are two different factions of what was once one. So when you're out with Mike, it's it's the Mike and Bruce show, man, and they're doing their thing, and the band's having a great time, and it's a party atmosphere. It's all about party atmosphere. And with Brian, again, it's just as much fun. It's just there's a different slant on it. I think it's more. I think we do a little bit, and I don't want to say we deep dive any more than they do, because they do deep cuts as well.
Yeah.
It's just, there is differences, but I can't really put one in front or behind the other.
That's
and
fair.
I don't really
I'm putting you on the spot with a tough.
Yeah,
tough
no,
question.
that's cool.
I think
I'm grateful that I've been able to do both.
Yeah, I think it's so cool.
Grateful where I'm at now. I'm grateful where I am right now.
I kind of feel like when I've seen both bands a number of times, and I agree with you about Mike and Bruce with the party atmosphere and fun and up and singing. But when I go to a Brian show, it's almost like I'm at like an orchestra in a way, where you want to take everything in, maybe. Really? And it's almost like you said, when you see Brian sitting in the middle of all this creation, it's really an overwhelming thing in a different way. Both very positive things.
It's a different thing, man. Yes, it is. Yeah. And well, Brian is my father-in-law, so I do feel compelled. I feel more I feel like my civic duties belong with the Brian band. Yeah. That's my family. But I love everybody, man. I can't. There's a lot of politics involved in these camps. Yeah. And I can't look at it all. I just got to overlook that and be there for the music and the service of the music.
Rob, I would have killed to be a fly on the wall the first time you said Brian Wilson, my father-in-law.
I know.
What was that moment like when you're like, should I just say that? Like, what is that a thing? Like,
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. A couple more questions. Is that okay, Rob? And then we'll let you. I don't want to take too much of your time.
I forgot to mention one thing. I'm sorry. Let me back up.
Please.
I forgot to mention the CD that I did recently with David Beard. We did the California music, and this is the one that we did. Add some music. And we had Al and Bruce and Mike sang on it, and Carney and Wendy, and all the lovely people, and it's for a great cause, Feed America. And that was one thing I did during this pandemic, which was a lot of fun.
We were lucky enough to spend a lot of time with David. We had David on the show. He's awesome guy, super talented, and I'm sure he was a lot of fun to work with. And we spent a lot of time talking through that project, and it seemed like it would have been so special to just have family together like that, and to be kind of a part of helping kind of bring that together.
Absolutely. Awesome. And it's interesting how that came together so piecemeal. I'm sure they spoke about it, but all the different parts came from different sources and different places and different quality of recordings, and we put it all together, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, David's awesome, and honestly, a lot of the things that are good about our show are because of David. He's an awesome guy. We really appreciate David. Yeah. A couple more questions, and then we'll let you go. Add some music. You play around LA with collections of musicians such as Beatles shows at the Grammy Museum. How much practice and new challenges are given with those?
Wow. We did a Beatles show at the Grammy Museum. This was last month, and the theme was 62 to 66. So like all the music within there. Yeah. And we always have like guest appearances. We had Mark Sebastian, who wrote Summer in the City, of course. His brother is John Sebastian. Yeah. We had Maria Muldaur, and we had who am I forgetting? Ron Dante and Prescott Niles. I'm forgetting somebody. I'm sorry. And Lawrence Juber played guitar, and Albert Lee played guitar as well. It was a challenge, yes, because a lot of those old Beatles songs, like the original early stuff, is not as easy as it comes across being. It's real fun and light and fun and whatever, but it's complicated. It's complex, man. The Beatles, man, they were playing solidly for a number of years by that time when they were doing those records. Right. So they were a tight unit, and just the intricacies of all the little interplay in the parts and the vocals on top of it all. A lot, man. It's hard. It was a lot of work. It was a labor of love. I mean, everybody does their homework, and we do one rehearsal, and then we do the shows. So it's a lot of fun. I think we're going to do another one coming up next month, which will be Let It Be / A Hard Day's Night. So the Beatles in film is the theme.
I love it.
Oh,
that cool. is awesome. Well, Rob, we have a record-breaking number of people on. So, and
I'll hang out with y'all.
That's I mean, that's a big thank you to you for taking the time and your talent.
I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
I've now read about a bunch of different times on here that you are so kind and so nice to your fans, and like a lot of people love it. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts taking your time. There's a million things you could be doing.
Anytime.
So
Come back. I'd love to come back.
Oh, we really appreciate it.
That'd be great.
Hey,
it was.
Hey, do
awesome.
us a favor. Hey, tell your father-in-law we said hey. Is that cool? Is that something you can do? These two losers over here in Omaha. Say hey. So.
No,
awesome.
You're doing a service to the legacy.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you, man. Hey,
Thank you,
have
Rob.
a great night, man. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you, brothers.
Okay.
Always. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
Man,
what a great guy.
Yeah, what a cool dude, man. He's a super cool guy, but he's an awesome musician too. Just so talented, multi-talented. I mean, the dude can play anything, and man, say Brian Wilson's your father-in-law. How crazy is that, man? So
real humble too. I just just sit and talk with him, and real gracious.
Seems to be a theme, man, with all the guys around that camp. Both bands, they're all humble. They're all real kind people. Yeah.
I can't relate, but I can understand to what he said when he had to take over the Christmas tour, and then he was kind of told you have to sing all the high parts. Can you imagine playing the guitar and then you can't blow any of those? That had to be nerve-wracking,
Merry Christmas. He's the man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, dude, awesome.
Among all the other ones he had to sing, I mean, that's neat that he could just go in and do that though. That's very impressive to me.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think that's so cool. What a great interview to kick off this season. That was awesome.
Yeah, so make sure y'all go out there and get those tickets for Beach Boys in Chicago, and you'll see Rob there. So
yeah, go see Rob. Also, I wasn't kidding about his solo stuff. It's really, really good. It's like I said, it's not Beach Boys, but if you're looking for something new to listen to, go back and check out some of his records. Like I said, Mea Culpa is really good. He's got a cool tune. Passenger Sea is really cool. I had a couple of the ones written down in here.
I like the one that stuck out to me was with his band Wanderlust there. I Walk. Have you heard that one? That one's pretty cool. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I remember when I listened to that, I said, oh, I remember that song because I was younger when it came out, and I remember that on the radio now. Yeah. I had no idea it was him,
I love it. Matt, should we do our giveaway? What do you think?
We'll do
our giveaway, and then we will do all requests for the next 15, 20 minutes or so. So if you have a request, you want to hear us botch a Beach Boys song, we'd love to sing it and play it for you, have some fun. We're going to do kind of a piano bar here. We're about to give away an authentic, beautiful Surf and Safari record, original Surf and Safari record with matching car. The car is not on the record, no, but the car has the album with it. It's matching. So, Matt, I'm going to put in my computer here. You want to just chat for a minute while I pull up our winner? If you're on right now, if you are live with us right now, you have a chance to win this thing. So I'm gonna pull up our winner real quick. And Matt, you want to talk for a second?
we thought we would start with a giveaway. We're going to do a lot of giveaways this year, by the way. And we thought we would start with Surf and Safari because obviously it's the first album the Beach Boys ever put out. And of course, there's the iconic picture there, Paradise Cove. And this will not be the one you get. You'll get one a little bit nicer than this. But you have Surf and Safari, County Fair, 10 Little Indians, Chug-a-Lug, Little Miss America, which Dennis sings, by the way. I thought that was cool. 409, Surfin', Heads You Win, Tails I Lose, Summertime Blues, Cuckoo Clock, which I actually like Brian's falsetto in there.
Cuckoo.
Moondog and The Shift. And this actually does not have Al Jardine. This is one of the original one. Al had taken a break from the Beach Boys for a while, and David Marks is on this record. It's iconic that you'll be able to own an original one of these. It's over, it's 60 years old now. I was going to say over 50, but 60 is over 50, right? And it'll be pretty neat to have. So we're looking forward to giving that to some nice lucky winner here. So,
all right, Matt, I have our winner.
All right, let's do it.
Should do this. All right, everybody, our winner, and we're going to do a giveaway every week. In fact, we have inherited an amazing collection of some awesome memorabilia and records, just the most amazing things. from our very good friend Michael Vick. Michael is out there out in Minnesota, so thank you. Michael is a good friend of the show, best friend of the show. So we're gonna give away cool stuff every week. It's why we got the collection.
The sweet hat. So.
Man, that hat is the best. I think you should just make that your permanent hat. But Matt, we have a winner.
Do a poll on hat or no hat for next week. We'll see. But
ladies and gentlemen, our winner for this week, and don't forget, you can win next week too. We're gonna have even more giveaways and lots of cool stuff. But our winner this week joins us from YouTube. Our winner this week is none other than Chad Wilson. Chad Wilson. Chad, congratulations. How about some congratulations in the chat for Chad? The question is Chad live right now? We're going to give him, we'll give him maybe a minute or so to respond. And if not,
Chad, if you're here.
I will redraw. We will redraw. Chad, is Chad out there? We're going to give him till 9:53. 9:53. So congratulations. Once again, we're going to do this every week. We're going to have a giveaway. And it'll be different every week. We'll try and make it somewhat related, but Matt, we've got some cool stuff.
We do.
Like really cool stuff.
Rainbow, actually, the giveaway tonight is both things at once. You get this whole.
You get both.
Get this whole package.
Yep, you get both of them. Well, Chad gets both of them if Chad responds. We're going to give Chad until 9:53, so he's got about a minute. There he is, Chad. Congratulations, Chad.
All right, Chad.
Yay, Chad. Chad, all you have to do is do us a favor. Can you message us on Facebook or our email, which is beachboystalk@gmail.com, and send us your information, and we will get that stuff out to you as soon as we can, okay? We'll do that. But, Matt, let's finish our show here with our usual piano bar, all request. We just have some fun and do some songs. So if you want to hear a song, go ahead and throw it in the chat. Anything you want to hear Beach Boys wise, we will play it. Doesn't matter what it is. If we don't know it, we'll learn it and have it next week. But let's do this. Let me pull up the request a song.
And Greg, I do want to say it's really, really nice and comforting to be back here and see such a big audience, all our familiar faces and a lot of new ones tonight. So I'm really happy,
Oh my gosh, it's been so good to have our friends back, and they're also, and we've had more time, a lot of new people I'm seeing out there this time too.
Yeah,
Matt, I'm gonna
set up. If you're new, you'll come back again, and we do this every Tuesday. So
that's right, every Tuesday night. Matt, I'm gonna set up my little iPad here so I can get some lyrics going. But you got a song? Put it in the chat. We're gonna do it. Matt, you want to chat for a second?
Sure. So if you're new to the show, what happens now is my brother is a very, very, very talented piano player, guitar player, singer, everything, but he's going to play your requests. And sometimes it's fun to try to stump him. I'm just saying, you can get a deep cut and see if he can play it. He's pretty good. So
yeah. And if I can't, most of the time Matt knows the words, so Matt will sing it without actually.
No, but in all seriousness, any song you want to hear, a Beach Boys song, since this is Beach Boys Talk, we'll see if we can get to them and just have a little fun for a while and hang out. But again, I really do want to thank everybody for being here. Rob was a great guest to kick off our season, and feels like we never left in a way. You know what I mean, Greg? We just picked up
man, I miss this. So I can't tell you how much we missed hanging out with you guys and having fun. So let's see, what do we got, Matt? Can you kind of keep a list of tunes there?
The first one I see is Kokomo.
Yeah, let's do it.
Todd Peters, Kokomo. That's very relevant for today's show. So.
Oh, Matt, we have a new thing this year. I got a drum machine.
Oh, there you go.
In honor of Billy. Billy had drums, so I was like, we got to have drums. Let's see if we can do this. Let me see if I can find something that's...
Play with that beat.
Yeah. No, we don't want a rumba. All right, hold on. We'll get drums in a second.
I'm writing these down. I'm not.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So the first one was Kokomo. Again, the 1988 hit, right? Kokomo, 88, 89. In my opinion, again, reevaluating the song. That's one of my New Year's resolutions here, is to kind of give some of this other stuff another chance, you know. Brian's music, again, kind of goes to my soul, but their harmonies do. And again, Mike added his vocals always, and great lyrics, but also did other stuff for the band as far as promotion and all that. I need to look into that more. I want to listen to more of Dennis's stuff this year. There's so much to listen to. That's why we're so blessed to have such a band like the Beach Boys, you know?
All right,
some interesting requests here.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Jamaica off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand, tropical drink melting in your hand. We'll be falling in love to the rhythm of a steel drum band. Down in Kokomo, Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, ooh, I wanna take you down to Kokomo. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we wanna go, way down in Kokomo. Sneak, I wanna get you sneak. We'll put out to sea and we'll perfect our chemistry. By and by we'll defy a little bit of gravity. Afternoon delight, cocktails and moonlit night. That dreamy look in your eye gives me a tropical contact high. Down in Kokomo, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, ooh, I wanna take you down to Kokomo. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we wanna go, way down in Kokomo. I want a saxophone solo.
Mike plays the saxophone, right?
Everybody know. I need like a toy saxophone. A little place like Kokomo. Now if you wanna go to get away from it all, go down in Kokomo, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, ooh, I wanna take you down to Kokomo. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we wanna go, way down in Kokomo. Why did I do that, key?
Very nice.
That's really high. Okay, what do we got? What's next?
Whoop, sorry. All right. So, do you want me to just go and order what I caught, or just read them and you want to pick one?
You pick. You got some good ones.
All right. How about
pick your favorites.
How about Please Let Me Wonder?
Yeah. Same key.
Probably could be, right? Off the Today album, my favorite Beach Boys album.
see. It's gonna be high.
Now here we are together. This would have been worth waiting forever. I always knew it'd feel this way. And please forgive my shaking. Can't you tell my heart is breaking? Can't make myself say what I plan to say. Baby, please let me wander. Please let me wander. Please let me wander alone. I built all my goals around you, that someday my love would surround you. You'll never know what we've been through. For so long I thought about it, and now I just can't live without it. This beautiful image I have of you. Baby, please let me wander. Please let me wander. Please let me wander alone. I love you.
Here's a question. Who says I love you? Is that Brian or Carl? I can't tell. Their voices sound the
I
same.
think it's Brian.
When he goes, Brian.
I wonder what key that is really in.
All right. How about I think for Claire, she said she asked us every time, but she loves it. I think it was Claire. If it wasn't Claire, forgive me.
Claire Bear.
Because I just wrote this. I wrote the song down, but it's Darlin'
Let's do it. You want to sing
from
it?
the Wild Honey album.
Oh, hey, I can do drums on this one.
There you go.
That's like 120, 125. Let's try. Oh, yeah. Now you ready to rock?
Keep to my darling, oh my darling, you're so fine.
Like to do it again.
I gotta speed it up.
Yeah, I know. Well, it might still sound cool. I'm just saying.
No if words can say, darling, I'll find a way to let you know what you meant to me. Guess it was meant to be. I'll hold you in my heart as our most precious part. Oh, darling, I dream about you often, my pretty darling.
to do the net word. The keep dreaming about dying.
I know.
Man, that's high.
Very nice.
I'm doing these songs too high. Sorry.
I keep dreaming. Yeah, that sounds Frankie Valli style.
Gee, that's it.
Macarena Elizabeth says, in
Hi,
honor
Macarena.
of Carl's 75th birthday 2 weeks ago, God only knows.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a crappy version of an awesome song.
I thought that was neat what Rob said about that. It's not necessarily you're going to mess up, but you worry about it on that song because everybody knows that one, you know?
I know. I'm going to put some drums on this too. Are you ready?
Stop.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you'll never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life was to go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life was to go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. What I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you.
Very sweet, brother. Good job.
Awesome song. Good choice, Macarena. All right, we got any more?
How about
Let's do two more.
all right. Well, how about Rob said this was one of his favorite ones and it was requested. It's a little bit of a curveball, but This Whole World.
Oh, that song is
Got like 8 key changes in it or something.
I got to pull up the lyrics because I don't want to mess up the words.
That's a great Carl vocal on there too.
Oh, awesome song.
From the Sunflower album.
Some really cool changes to This Whole World lyrics. Let me pull these up. I don't think I need the lyrics, but I just want to have them because This Whole World by Outkast. Perfect.
I'm thinking about this whole world. Late at night, I think about the
This song is dumb. Okay. It's dumb as in it's amazing. It's just cool changes.
Like sick dumb, right?
Like awesome dumb. Yeah, it's like dumb. It's so good. Okay, and I stink. All right. Hey, can I do drums on this one too?
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. It sounds like how they would have done it at like the Paramount concert in '93.
Well, that's why I said that sounds like or Dennis Wilson do it again right there. You know.
I love it.
I'm thinking about this whole world. Late at night, I think show. But when they leave, you better know you are near, like everywhere, like everyone you see. Happy 'cause you're living and you're free. Now here comes another day for your love. I'm thinking about it, this whole world. Ooh. Do, 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 do. Ooh. Do, 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 do. Ooh. Late at night, I think about the love of this whole world. Ooh.
Awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
One-man band right there.
The drums are really spicing it up.
All right.
Spicing it up.
How many more, brother?
Let's do one more. Why don't you sing
Okay.
one? You sing one.
Well, no, that's all right. You sing. But if we got one more, let's do it in honor of Long Promise Road. And Brian Wilson, It's Okay, was requested tonight. So why don't you play that one?
Hey, I got the drums. I got the drums for this.
I know you. It's perfect. And Brian, it calms him, man. He loves that tune.
It's that time again.
That iconic Dennis, and that, what do you call that? At the end of a song there, it comes back and forth.
Yeah,
What's
it's
the proper?
like I don't know.
A tag,
Yeah, it's
right?
like a tag. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that Brian Wilson vintage tag there, man. The Find a Ride with the clarinets and stuff. It's so cool, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like this whole world again. Yeah, it kind of sounds it kind of sounds like the intro to Do It Again, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it sounds exactly like it if you get that little echo on it, you know. Automatic wind.
Fun is in, it's no sin, it's that time again to shed your load, hit the road on a run again. Summer skies in a rise in a warmer sun is one for all for one, all have fun. Gotta go through it. Gotta go through it. Gotta get with it. It's okay to get out there and have some fun by yourself, maybe, or else with a one. Good or bad, glad or sad, it's all gonna pass, so it's okay. Let's all play and enjoy while it lasts. Gotta go through it. Gotta get with it. Gotta go through.
What's the third verse, Matt? Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay to get out there and have some fun.
Crap, I sang that one already. What's the second verse?
Looking good down the hood of a funky ride.
Looking good down the hood of a funky ride on the way to the tide just to tan your hide. Lemonade in the shade, in the shade, lemonade in the sun, ocean spray to get your face in the race. Oh, they back's no disgrace. Gotta go through it. Gotta go to it. Gotta get with it. Find a ride. Find a ride. Find a ride. Find a ride. In the summertime. In the summertime.
That's really a great song. I think it's underrated, man. It's really good, really catchy, clever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and how cool is it?
Probably the best on 15 Big Ones.
That's like Brian's like safe song. It's kind of fun.
And one thing that was funny on the movie, he would always say, "Can you play It's Okay by the Beach Boys?" Like you don't know who it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A song that he wrote, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Chat, everybody, thank you so much for joining us again. What a fun first episode of our second season. What an honor to be here with all of you.
Yes.
You're wonderful people. Great group. Rob was awesome. Thank you, Rob, for coming on.
Thank you, Rob. Yep.
Really, really appreciate that. Next week, our episode is called Endless Bummer. No guest. We're just going to have fun, and we're going to talk about the Beach Boys songs that are bummers, right, Matt? We're just going to kind of...
Probably the worst, and there may not be
the worst
very many,
Beach Boys songs. Yeah, we're going to talk
thought it might be
the
fun
worst.
to kind of, let's humble ourselves a little bit and talk about the not so good moments in the Beach Boy catalog. You know what I'm saying?
For example, like In the Back of My Mind. That would be one of the ones that we'll probably talk about.
Well, Hey Little Tomboy, possibly.
Hey Little Tomboy is cringe city. But you love that song, though. You love
No,
that.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
That's our other brother, remember?
No, you love that song. It's okay.
Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Bridget LaGreca for this cool shirt. Look at the shirt she got.
That shirt is awesome. I really want one. Bridget, I'm not quite sure why I didn't get one, but it's fine. We are brothers.
Thank you for that, yeah.
I wear a schmedium, by the way. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Hey, we're starting a new thing that if you like the show, you want to support, we have a PayPal. You don't have to. The show is 100% free. We're going to put it at the end of the show. If you want to support the show at all, let us know. But thank you so much. Let me do our kick-out music here. You guys are awesome. We love you so much. We will see you next Tuesday night. 7:30 chat opens up. We'll see you. Good night, everybody. We love you.